Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are slightly late on this quarterfinal of the Men's Rugby League World Cup. Unfortunately, that game between South Africa and Ireland ran a little bit longer than anticipated, but it is going to be an exciting contest. Fiji taking on the Kiwis as well, but we are into this matchup. Hopefully, it is going to be a very entertaining one. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I promise we're not normally late when it comes to starting live streams, but this one, like I mentioned, there was just a bit of an overlap. We are just getting the game up now. As you can see behind me, it is the RDS Arena. We will quickly change that. Something more fitting of a rugby league quarterfinal. But New Zealand versus Fiji should be an entertaining game. These two sides in the past have played in a Rugby League World Cup. It was a relatively close game at the moment. 2 minutes 43 through this match. We are just switching to our other broadcasting one. There we go. You're going to see me doing it on the fly. And Tosa says Viniana in there as well. But currently Fiji are in position. They are going to be slinging the ball wide out into the hands of the big man, Sivo. He is actually the man in my thumbnail. And he is a dangerous runner of the ball when he does get going for Sivo as well. We will go like this. We will go like this. And we will go like this. There we go. And hold up. You put in the 80, or got put in the 80, says Golden Guest. And also, we look at the Ireland was versing South Africa, says Totally Lemons. They were indeed. And in the end, it was a very good performance from both sides. Well, it was an interesting performance from both sides. I won't exactly call it good because both sides, I think they left a lot out on the field that they would have liked to be able to improve on, but it was still decent nonetheless. Go here like that, and we will go like that. There we go. We're all set up, ladies and gentlemen. We've managed to get it the way that we need it to be. Currently, New Zealand in position. Now, we didn't get a chance to go through the starting lineups for this matchup, but New Zealand have gone with a strong side. Fiji, they've got a majority of their main players. Viliami Kakao's definitely one to watch out there for the Flying Fijians. And come on, Fiji, says Harry Kay and the chat as well. Now another big run from it was the number 11 for the Kiwis. In fact, it was the number 10, James Fisher-Harris instead. Now going back across will be in the hands of a Sefa Solomona. Now off to the short side, once again, good hands. Hughes links up with Peter Hiku in the midfield. Now New Zealand looking away to the right. They are currently sitting on their fifth tackle. Can't believe South Africa lost against Ireland because of the kicking. We could have beat them so badly if we kicked better. Yeah, I don't understand why they switched to Chisel and Colby as one of the kicking options. It just seems really almost like self-sabotaging in a way. And Fiji all the way says Viniana and come on Fiji. And also Fiji good, says Ezra there in the chat as well. But like I mentioned, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. New Zealand, throughout the early couple minutes that I have seen, they've been able to make a lot of meters. But Fiji now with the position only 10 meters out from their own line will be looking to attack once again. It's going to be a run from Taruva taken down. It's got to be close to a 6 more call. So once again, the rain is falling in England as well, I should mention. And good luck, Fiji, says Golden Guest. Yeah, whoever wins this game, they go on to face up against the Australians in the upcoming game of the Rugby League World Cup semi-final. A penalty against New Zealand that time. I believe just a little bit offside from the Kiwis. Who do you think is going to win? I think New Zealand, they came in as favourites for this contest, but it's extremely hard to tell. Because at the end of the day, Fiji, they're going to play with a lot of passion out there on the park, which is something New Zealand need to expect and need to try and counter. And Fiji, of course, is Ezra and the chat as well. Now going off to the right-hand side here. Oh, sorry, that was actually a replay. Now Fiji going to the left for this one. Will be a big run forward from Siwa Wong. Taken down currently only 20 meters out from the Kiwis line here for Fiji. The last time they played in the Rugby League World Cup, like I mentioned, Fiji were victorious and up the motherland. And Fiji says Viniana, good attacking run from the Flying Fijians. Now across to the left-hand side, it's a drop ball, and it could be costly as Jerome Hughes is going to be winning the foot race. Good pressure from both sides, and they will be going back for the initial knock-on now. That was a bit of extra pressure that Fiji weren't really expecting. Unfortunately, when the ball was put down in the midfield in these slippery conditions, it just created that extra bit of pressure. And Jerome Hughes was all over it. It was put down in the end. I believe it was Kurisau who ended up dropping it. Jerome Hughes in the foot race alongside Tangi Tuima and wasn't quite able to get it. Looks like it is going to be going down now for another scrum. And do you know when the Union World Cup is? It is 2023, near the end of 2023. So around October-ish is when it is going to be taking place for the Rugby Union World Cup. Going to be an entertaining one as well, I should mention, with the two sides. But now it is going to be fed in by Jerome Hughes. Ball goes available on the short side. It's going to be a big run forward from Peter Hiku. Makes a few extra meters there for New Zealand. Still inside of their own half, though. So far, we have seen a bit more of the territory battle going the way of Fiji. That was going to be a massive shot there from Corbin Sims if he had connected. Luckily, only just slightly edged it. And also, do you know the meetings of the ABs to Islanders? Says Golden Guest, I do not. Golden Guest and also Kiwis easy win. Says Cooper Cronk now. Jesse Bromwich runs it hard at the line. New Zealand going off to the left. Going to be kicked in behind. It works out. It's a knock-on, though, from Peter Hiku. And now Sivo tries to go down the wing. Luckily, getting enough contact on him to be able to slow him down. Hamish missed the Island game. The Bok fans complain much. Says Finton and they're not really overall. I think they were more disappointed in their own side than anything else with the fact that they weren't really making the best decisions out there on the park. Now charging at the line, Viliami Kakao. Let's have the carry there. Currently 8 minutes into this game. Can you please tell the tackle number? Says Rajesh was currently up to third here for Fiji. A big run forward from Nagwama. Tackle so far, New Zealand have made 42, and Fiji actually kicking on third, looking for the 40-20 deep. Nicely taken at the back, though, by Ronaldo Molitalo. Now gives it off to the hands of the number 15, Joseph Manu, normally making meters for fun throughout this Rugby League World Cup. Good tackle made on him. It was a little bit high maybe from Kikawa, France or Australia, says Max Cotto. I would say France to take out that game as where we could let our voice be heard in the dark time. That's why it's a diehard for me, for those who represented us. Says Golden Guest. Now it is going to be going back across to the right. Big carry forward from Nelson. Asafa Solomona going short side. Hughes now breaking through. New Zealand starting to make a few extra meters each time that they hit the ball up here. And to the left. Good run forward once again. Brandon Smith pops back up to his feet. 20 meters out to the line. Fifth and final. And that is going to be 60 meters now. Why do I hear noise? I have ads. Oh, it's on Sky. I was wondering why I had random ads playing in my eardrums, but it was quiet up till that point. And then just randomly, I had an ad advertising a wedding dress. Jerome Hughes, though, he went for the kick and behind and went straight into the hands of Fiji, who now look for the attack once again. Wangwama moves up to the third tackle. 10 minutes through this contest already. We did miss the first 3 minutes, so that's why it's felt like it's gone so quickly. But Sivo now driven backwards in the tackle by Peter Hiku. Sivo goes across. That is going to be the set restart. So the mistake from New Zealand there. You can't really afford to give Fiji extra plays of the ball at you. Taruva, the man who does try and attack the line there once again. Off to the right. Fiji, great run forward from number 11, Sandrugu. Now, once again, moving up to halfway. And Fiji, they're certainly going to be a tough side to beat in this matchup. And I think New Zealand know that heading into the game. It's never going to be an easy beat match when you are head-to-head with the Fijians because they will put in absolutely everything into their performance. They got themselves a good win during the group stage, and now we'll be looking to continue that momentum. Now off to the short side, Sivo almost received the pass on the outside, but instead taking the contact himself was Valame. Now off to the right. Back across once again for the Fijians. Big shot there from, I believe it was Brandon Smith, who was able to put it in. 51 meters gained by Fiji. Fifth and final now, looking for the grubber. Instead, decide to use the quick hand. Sivo now for the corner. Scores it. No one's going to be able to stop the big man, who is now absolutely fired up beyond belief. And Sivo scores. Brilliantly done by that man. And that is going to be 11 minutes into the game. Fiji take the first of the match. Now in the pouring rain. It could be raining twice throughout this game as well by the looks of it. But Maika Sivo does manage to get himself the first try of the contest. Very nicely done by Fiji, but they went for the little cell of the dummy rather than going for the kicker behind. They decided to just fire it out wide, give it to Sivo, and he said, okay, I'll just run over the top of the New Zealand winger. Who was it who tried to stop him? I mean, Joseph Manu. He's not the smallest man in the world, but Sivo's just going to run over the top of him 9 times out of 10. Quick hands, beautifully done by Viliami Kakao. And Fiji, they strike first in this matchup against the Kiwis. They're saying Sivo, one of the best try scorers from the NRL, does play for the Parramatta Eels throughout the rugby league season in Australia. Taking some deep breaths as well. He's one of those players who really, he has little patches. He either goes quiet for a while and then absolutely bulldozes, or he does end up going a little bit quiet and then just waiting for that perfect opportunity. How do you know all these stuff and where do you watch them, says Ethra? So I am watching this game on Spark Sport here in New Zealand. I guess how do you know all these stuff? It's pretty much from, I guess, just either researched or just continuously watching different sports and learning along the way. But Brandon Wakeham will now be lining up this kick for the Fijians after they were successful with that first kick. With their first try of the day, I should say. Sivo, he's a beast down the wing. He's going to be maybe getting himself a double in this contest if New Zealand aren't able to shut him down nice and early. Now, it's going to be the kick for Wakeham. Take his time, making sure that this one's relatively close to going over 13 minutes in. And Fiji, they have already now, almost, if this kick goes over, they have scored more points than they did have up against the Kiwis in the 2017 Rugby League World Cup competition in their semi-final, I believe it was, or not the semi-final, but they did play off at one point, and they beat the Kiwis 4-2. That kick's gone over. Brilliant work out wide from Wakeham, and that will make the score now 6-0 in favour of Fiji over New Zealand. So the early pressure we're seeing from the Fijians, it was Kurisau who did actually act like he was going to go for that little grubber in behind. Instead, found the pass on the outside to Kakao. One more to Sivo. All the NRL players actually linking up for that brilliant try. But now New Zealand find themselves trailing. Can New Zealand upset Fiji in this one? New Zealand actually came in as the favourites for this matchup. But, I mean, there's certainly a chance that New Zealand fire back in this contest, but Fiji so far are making it very difficult by the looks of it. And be honest, you can't say you don't know who is going to win. I mean, I think I'd pick New Zealand to win by 6, but that could certainly be very different. New Zealand sides are always slow starters, says Kipper Cronk there. Fiji now still driving hard at the line. That was going to be Tangi Tuamua. Now Sim sits it up at the line. Total metres gained so far, relatively even between the two sides, but New Zealand have been making an average of 9 metres per game line carry rather than the 6 that we're seeing from Fiji. So that may end up benefiting them in the long run. But for now, Fiji still have themselves the 6 points on the board. Going off to the short side. Going to be a good run from Kakao. Hits it hard at the line, but it's a good tackle made by Asafa Solomona. 5th and final, 44 metres gained by the Fijians. Kicking a mind, skidding it low, and New Zealand just allowed that ball into touch. They decided rather than going for the handling error or the possible handling error, they were willing just sacrifice that one and let the ball roll out. And thank you for all this content, says Ezra. No worries at all. We have got plenty more coming in the near future. Tomorrow, we have got the matchup between Samoa and Tonga for the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals, and then also Argentina versus England. All of the sevens matches that we are squeezing in, all those quarterfinals taking place, including Fiji versus South Africa. That's going to be a terrific one. Ireland, they are going to be playing up against the Australians. France, USA, and Samoa, Argentina is the other game as well. But now New Zealand looking a little bit more aggressive in the way that they're carrying this ball forward. Around the side, Joseph Manu creeping forward another 15 or so meters. I think this guy talking random stuff. Says Super Penrith, you are correct, mate. I just ramble, and sometimes it makes sense. So, fair statement. Now Tapeni, going to be wrestled down there nicely by the Fijians. Now moving up to 30 meters out from the line. Another big carry forward from Jesse Bromwich, the captain of New Zealand. 5th and final, up to 57 meters gained there for the Kiwis. It's going to be kicked in behind. Sivo's waiting for it. He glides up. Great take there from the big man, the try scorer, Sivo. And now Fiji will have this ball back only 10 meters out from their line. In fact, make that 5 meters. Now, Kurisau will be looking off to the right. Let's give it off. Currently up to the third tackle here for Fiji, and they are only sitting 10 meters out from their own line here, so they're going to have to make a few extra meters before going for their kick, having to run it sideways just for now, but now the line break. Brilliant work there from the Fijian number 24, who offloads the ball back in play, but it's the opportunity now for New Zealand. Good tackle made on Dylan Brown there. I get angry too super, but his commentating is not lying. And there says Golden Guest, and when the scores are tight in rugby, there is also some super over. So pretty much they'll go to golden point if these two sides are even at the end of 80 minutes. It's a penalty to Fiji. Oh, that is poor from New Zealand. They had a definite attacking opportunity, but I believe they had a man in front, which then caused a little bit of obstruction. They may even consider going up for a captain's challenge here. But New Zealand, I think it was a Safa Solomona, got himself penalised. No, in fact, it was actually the number 9, Brandon Smith. Just ended up getting in the way of a Safa Solomona, and also Kiwi should pull through, says Hami there. Yeah, they certainly had a slightly slower start to the Fijians. And this one all picked up and dropped there on his back was a Valame. Now going off to the right-hand side once again here for Fiji. Big run from Corbin Sims. Moves to 40 metres out now from the Kiwi line on the second tackle. Drops to the knee. Stays down on the ground. I think it was actually his own player who was slightly stopping him from being able to recycle that one. Another big carry. I think two Kiwis might have head-butted each other there. Fisher Harris. Don't know if he felt it. You know, he looks like he felt it a little bit. Now Fiji going off to the right. 30 metres from the line now. Another great run forward. Now will be New Zealand. Have to try and defend this final tackle. Great run from Fiji up the middle. And Naiwama has been able to score, and he celebrates with his side 18 minutes in. And the Fijians are now up 10-0 over the Kiwis. That is a great try to be scored still in the first half as well. And Fiji already find themselves up by the 10 points. They're certainly playing the better rugby league in the early stages of the half. And New Zealand don't seem to have an answer for the way that they're attacking currently. Kevin Naiwama has been able to score it beautifully. So the attack and run, the flat pass, inside ball. New Zealand left a gap the size of Africa. And straight through Naiwama was able to score it. And also we go there, Fiji, says Golden Guest. Yeah, brilliant work from the Fijians there. Have to try and kind of, I guess you could say, strategically drink my water so I don't run out before the end of this match. But 19 minutes into this contest, Fiji up by 10, and this should be a nice, easy conversion for the Fiji Bati as well. And just what the Black Ferns did against France, says Cooper Cronk. I wonder how that makes the odds. So I'm actually going to have a quick look and see what that has done to the odds between New Zealand and Fiji. I'd like to think that Fiji are now favourites. Hey, Kiwi says, Darnell, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well indeed. Currently, Fiji doing very well at the early stages of the match. Coach, I was going to say he'll look happy. He doesn't look happy at all. He looks very angry. At the moment, maybe wants a few more points on the board before he gets too excited. So Fiji at the moment are still $4.25 underdogs, the way they are sitting. And Leeds are long time no chat. And there's us, says Darnell, and also Team Fiji, says Davida. But yeah, the fact that Fiji are winning this game by such a margin and they are still $4.25 underdogs does surprise me quite a bit. Now, lining up this kick for Fiji. It's gone straight over the middle. And that is going to be great work from Wakeham. Great work from Naiwama. And now Fiji find themselves 12-0 up over the Kiwis after only the first 20 minutes of the game. Like I mentioned, we missed the first 3 minutes of the contest, but now we are starting to see that Fiji are certainly a team that have come to play in this final. And Naiwama, very happy with that. I should mention the winner of this game will go on to face up against Australia in their next game. And NRL looks to win here. Says Golden Guest and Kiwis will come back. Says Groma in second half, you will see the Kiwi team. Says Taioni there. New Zealand going to be kicking off this one long once again. Giving it back into the hands of Fiji inside of their own in-goal area, taking that one nicely and firing across to one of the bigger players out there on the park for Fiji, number 13, Tha. I think Fiji asking for a penalty there, and Sandrugu actually going off the field. That is for Manuel Alio Levave, who has been taken off. So that is, I believe, the first interchange we have seen from Fiji throughout this matchup. Nice carry forward by that man, Manuel Alio Levave, who recently made his way onto the field. Now another run from Corbin Sims. Fiji and number 3 taken down nicely. And the tackle by, I believe it was actually Jesse Bromwich, the captain of New Zealand. Won't be happy with the way that they have started, but they want to make sure that they don't allow Fiji to get themselves another try this early on in the contest. It's kicked up in the air after 42 metres gained for the Fijians, nicely taken by Joseph Manu, who will now look to step through the defensive line. He's not going to be able to get through it, though. Fiji doing very well with their defence. That was Wong who made the tackle there, and the penalty goes the way of New Zealand. That will help them get out of their own half. I believe that was the penalty for offside given in favour of New Zealand. Right, this might be one of the best attacking opportunities we see from New Zealand. They did have the chance earlier on to try and get themselves a few points on the board, but they did make quite a few little mistakes in that process, such as that little bit of obstruction between the two players. Now, 22 minutes in, New Zealand will have themselves the tap and go. 21, Nicole Clockstead. Just get us back underway. Fisher Harris dropped onto his back and throw the nice man like you Broncos, says Joseph. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more of the Rugby League World Cup coming up in the future. Find the offload now. New Zealand on attack. Jerome Hughes taken down, and the tackle wasn't willing to risk the offload. Wakeham makes the tackle on him now. Second tackle for New Zealand. Joseph Manu moves up. Only about 10 metres out from the line now for New Zealand. Now Smith going across. Little pop pass up from New Zealand, close to the line once again, but taken down by the strong Fijian defence. Now off to the left-hand side. Tapine. I don't think he's going to be able to find the offload there. He's got 4 Fijian players all surrounding him. Fifth and final now for New Zealand after gaining 49 metres. Bromwich goes across to Jerome Hughes, looks for the little grubber. It's going to be well covered by the fullback Taruva. And unfortunately for Jerome Hughes, it was just that little hesitation that he decided to take before taking the kick that actually cost him a lot of the space that he had available. Fiji, once again, 10 minutes out from their line. They are looking defensively sound. Yeah, he waited for Viliami Kakao to go past before going for the kick, and then by then, New Zealand didn't really have the chases that they had for the previous moment. But Jesse Bromwich actually taken off the field this time for Isaac Liu. That's quite an early change for New Zealand to be taken off the skipper. And Kiwi this year, this is your year to lift the Rugby League World Cup trophy, says Dione there. And while Fiji ahead, says Anui, they certainly are, and they are ahead by 12 at this point in the match. A very good start to the game for themselves. Now going with the kick in behind, 33 metres gained from Fiji, deep. Nicely taken, though, by Mulitalo. Gives it off to Joseph Manu, who will always run it hard at the line, straight back into the Fijian firing line. 24 minutes through. New Zealand now once again. It is going to be... Surely that wasn't Joseph Manu. No, it wasn't. Once again, it was Nicole Clockstead. So Jesse Bromwich, he's gone off the field. He's gone onto one of the bikes at the moment. And also Fiji Tonga says it was Royal Man 14. So the winner of this game, it is going to be their matchup next up against Australia in the semi-final. And then the winner of that will go on to face the winner of England versus Samoa and Tonga, or whoever goes through on that one. That was a really confusing way of listing that. I do apologise if I did confuse anyone with that statement. Now Kenneth Bromwich goes back across fifth and final. Another 65 metres gained from New Zealand, so they're making metres easy enough. That's a knock-on from Sevo. Sits up now for New Zealand. Tried to find the offload. They're going to be going back for the initial knock-on, though. It was a risky one for Jordan Rapana to try and go for the offload from there. Definitely because they were going to have a full set ahead of them. I think he wanted to keep it alive, though. Keep the speed going quick for the Kiwis. Sevo. In fact, no, it wasn't Sevo who dropped that ball. Pretty confused there for Fiji, not deciding to go for the jump there. Same with New Zealand. Both sides relatively unwilling to contest for that ball. With 25 and a half minutes through, Sims is going off the field. That is for Vunia Yawa. He is now on the field. Number 17, New Zealand, rolling it back off the back. Jerome Hughes, one more pass. New Zealand in the corner. Mulitalo has been able to score it. And that will be the first try of the match for New Zealand. 4 points now on the board for them. 11 Fiji, and we know we are going to the semi, says Royal Man 14, and England versus Tonga, says Dione, for the other matchup for the semi-final. But yeah, like I mentioned, the winner of this game goes on to face up against Australia. And the Kiwis, there's Cooper Crump, but they went for the set play. Jerome Hughes, then with the pass off, and it was nice work from Ronaldo Mulitalo to go in the corner. He didn't have a lot of space to work with, but it's slippery out there on the field. So as long as you keep that body position low, you're just going to slide in like you're a penguin in the Ice Age. It's almost great work from the Fijian defense, though. Taruva was close to being able to knock him into touch, but just not quite close enough to be able to stop this try from being scored. Now 26 and a half minutes through, Mulitalo might not be his last try of the match either. It's looking like it's a good day to wear number 2 on your back. Mulitalo scoring for New Zealand, Sevo scoring for Fiji, and then also alongside that we have seen another try in the match, and that was for Naiwama. So maybe the next try scorer could be Peter Hiku, theoretically, looking at the system that we've had. Speaking of Peter Hiku, he will not be the kicker for this one. Instead, Jordan Rapana, the man whose number is one more than Peter Hiku, and number 5. 27 minutes through in this contest, though, and Rapana will be looking to add the extra 2 points for the Kiwis, and also that Shark not. And there's his golden guest, and that Shark deserved that, or not deserved that jersey, says golden guest in there. Which player are we talking? A Cronulla Shark player? Golden guest, do let me know. Now, from the touchline, striking it very nicely, sneaks it in, and that will make the score now 6 points to 12 in favour. Still with the Fijians, but New Zealand able to close that gap by 6 points, make it now only the 6 difference between the two sides. But Jordan Hughes found the offload up to Bromwich. Then that was Mulitalo in the corner. He was fired up when he got that one over that Shark boy, says, and it was golden guest, and also come on New Zealand, says Taione. Now New Zealand will be receiving the kickoff from the Fijians. I believe they will go long with this one. It's the best bet at this point in time. I should also mention that France versus Australia has kicked off for anyone who is following along with that game. We will actually bring it up on my phone so that I can keep you guys updated with what the score is in that game as it does progress. But New Zealand, they've got this ball from 10 metres out from their line. Big run forward from big Asafa Solomona. Not quite able to get through the way that he would have liked to, though. He did break 1 tackle, but I think he would have liked to break probably 3 or 4 with the size that he has got. So, yeah, currently in the game between Australia and France, it is 1 minute 40 in 0-0 between the two sides, but we will keep you updated. Incomplete sets, we're seeing 2 from Fiji so far, incomplete, compared to the 1 incomplete from New Zealand. Both sides hitting double figures with their completed sets as well. But now Brandon Smith going off to the right, 5th and final, 61 metres made by New Zealand throughout that set, and now Sevo has to take it only a couple metres out from his own line, running it sideways there, Sevo, but they've taken him down well before allowing him to get too many metres made. Now across to the right-hand side again, big shot there on Taruva, and I think he felt that one. His head will be ringing after that shot. Now going short side once again here. Number 19 hits it up at the line there, Valemi. Yeah, I think it was actually Rapana's shoulder, or in fact, sorry, Tapene's shoulder that did end up connecting with Taruva's head. Now going to the right, 4th tackle already for Fiji. They now just made their way up to the 30-metre line. It's going to be only 24 metres gained throughout that set. Now Fiji firing it back into the pocket. Will be putting plenty of distance and plenty of height on this one to try and make a half for Mulitalo, but he's taken it nicely. Now looking to attack the line. Missed tackle from Nainama. And now it's opened up the opportunity again for New Zealand. Ball on the inside. Great low tackle made by Taruva. That was a try-saving tackle right there. But now New Zealand, they are still on attack. Manu drops it. Fiji have just done brilliantly there. And Samaseko, the Bati. And they're all the players starting to have a bit of a push and a shove. I think something may have been said between the sides. They are not too happy out there on the field at the moment. Tapini getting right in the face of Taruva. I think he is annoyed that he was able to make such a brilliant low tackle. And now, yeah, that would be a certainly heavyweight clash for Tapini versus Taruva. And Australia at the moment in the France game are actually leading 3-0 for anyone wondering. And also Kiwis picking their game up. Says Cooper Cronk, although it was a big opportunity, but Manu just lost the ball out of his hands. It was a brilliant run, but an even better tackle from Taruva around the bootlaces. And yeah, big push there from Tapini. So I believe Taruva was going to go over and tell Manu how good he was. Tapini said, no, you're not. I'm going to give you a shove in the chest first. And then the push and the shove between the two sides as well. You can tell that there's a lot of passion out there on the park already throughout the first 30 minutes of this contest, ladies and gentlemen. I believe the semi-final will be exactly the same. Asafa Solomona is what the All Blacks need when playing the Springboks. Line them up with Etzebeth. Says Stone Cold. Yeah, that would be an intriguing battle, wouldn't it? Two guys just love taking the heads off of their opposition. And also, absolutely, Cooper, says Dione. Now, Fiji just outside of their 10-metre line. Go on short side. Sivo decides to get involved and take that first contact. Eben would get smashed, says Cooper Cronk there. Now, after their third tackle here for Fiji, 20 metres out from their own line, so still continuing to slowly make a few extra metres. They haven't had too many post-contact metres, though, I will mention, for the Fijians. I believe that's down to the tackle technique we have seen from New Zealand. They've been going low very often. They've made 143 tackles throughout this matchup compared to the 100 that Fiji have been able to make, kicking on their fourth tackle there, Fiji. So now it's back in the hands of Joseph Manu for the Kiwis. Wrestle backwards. All right, some very good work. I believe that was Nakubawai. Did come onto the field recently as another replacement. Who are you cheering for, says Royal Man 14. I mean, I'm from New Zealand, but I love the passion that Fiji show out there on the field. So I would be happy enough if either of these sides go through to face off against the Australians. Kind of cool if we see a Fiji versus Australia rematch. I think that would be a lot closer than the last match. But then a Trans-Tasman matchup, a repeat of the Anzac Day test that we get to see here in New Zealand and Australia would be also quite a cool one. So I think either side would be a great semi-final clash. Ty Sivo does nice under that one, and Kiwi all day, says Golden Guest. Sivo now 10 metres out from his line. Fiji, they haven't made a huge amount of metres throughout all of their attack and plays. Brilliant charge there from New Zealand. Driving to Ruva only 1 metre short of his goal line, and that is certainly pressure. Fiji on my life, says Gregory Wise. And it's actually going to be lost, but Bromwich, did he put it down? In fact, oh, it's a penalty to New Zealand. That was lucky for the Kiwis, but Fiji, they were caught on their line. They tried to get the ball back. They weren't quite able to do so, and now New Zealand with another great attacking opportunity to try and get a few more extra points on the board before we get into halftime. New Zealand hit it up with Tapini, his first carry. The last little while, now only a few metres out from the line. Brandon Smith goes back to Jerome Hughes. One more pass across to Dylan Brown. Moving 10 metres out. How was Fiji such a big underdog? It's a great question because that's the thing. Fiji were up 12 points to 6, and they were still considered as $4.20. Or sorry, they were up 12-0 and they were considered $4.25 underdogs. So I believe at the start of the match, it was probably about $10 or $15 for the Fijians to be able to win. But they've got the talent. They've got the ability. All they need is to put it together out there on the field. And they could certainly get themselves the upset. It's another drop ball from New Zealand. Every time they get close to the line at the moment, they put it down. And that was Tapini, and I'm sure Taruva will tell them all about it as well now. And also Kiwis putting the heat on. And also we have got there, Fiji should give Seti a chance, says Dione there. And also Fiji all my life a little bit earlier on from Gregory. But do let me know your score predictions for the end of this game. Do you see Fiji winning it, or do you think New Zealand winning it? And how much is the margin that you think they will be able to win by? Slippery balls all over there, says Golden Guest. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of handling errors for the two sides early on. Mainly New Zealand, though, I believe, who have been putting the ball down a little bit more often than Fiji. Going off to the left-hand side now, looking to attack here for the Fijians. Good tackle made once again on the replacement, Vuni Yayawa. Now going off to the right. In fact, that was the left. I'm getting bad at that. I always just say the random thing that I think of. It also Butterfinger Kiwis says Royal Man. And also we have got there, Sethi had his chance, says the Island boy. Now, once again, it is in the hands of Uni Ayawa. Moving up to fifth and final here for Fiji, making 52 metres, 40 metres out from the line of the Kiwis. Now putting the box kick up high. Going to be a tough one to take. Kurisau thought about it, but great attack and run from Joseph Martin, who almost had a smile on his face after being able to take him a core curse. Can only go so far, says Golden Guest, and Fiji will always win their quarterfinals, says Richard. 34 minutes through New Zealand. That is already going to be their first, or in fact, their second tackle. Their big shot put on Jordan Rapana there. And just New Zealand's hands letting them down, says Cooper Cronk. Now, big contact. Once again, I believe that time it was Peter Hiku trying to get out from underneath of the big Fijian defender, kicking on fourth, looking for the 40-20. It's curling, but it looking like it's going to be pulling up inside of the 10. Now Taruva going to be running it back at the New Zealand line. Good shot put on by Jordan Rapana, who holds him down for a little bit longer as well. Looked like Fiji were having a bit of a chuckle on the ground after that one. 35 minutes through in this contest, though, and it seems relatively even throughout the first little while in terms of the running meters made for both of the sides. And now, just outside of the 30-meter line, Fiji will once again be attacking. And well, Fiji says low-key, and high tackle says Anoi. And the chat as well. Up to the fourth. For Fiji, good attack and run. Yep, it was a little bit too high. On Taruva. Looks like it's going to be play on just for now, though. Fifth and final, 51 metres made. Taruva once again getting fired up. Now Fiji, they will look to use their backline. It was a rough pass to Kakao. It was never going to be an easy take, unfortunately, when it is going at your ankle height. And run it straight, boys, says Nate. And the chat as well. But yeah, Kurisau gives it to him, pretty much rolling along the ground by the time it got into the hands. And now New Zealand moving their way towards the halfway line. Still another 4 minutes left in this half. So as I like to call it, plenty of time for an opportunity for a try. Now another big run forward. Trying to get up there, Asafa Solomona. They're saying he carries the ball well. He always makes those meters for the Kiwis. Nice step there from Kenneth Bromwich. Now back across, Tapini has been taken off the field. That is for Papali'i as one of the subs for New Zealand. Big attacking run from Jerome Hughes. Oh, injury here for one of the Fijians. I believe it is actually the try scorer, Naikwama. It looks like he's got a bit of an injury. In fact, it might actually be Kara Walevu here. Or is it Wainyama? I think it's Wainyama. I think he's just got a 4 on his back rather than a 24. Hiku goes across. It's back to 0 for the Kiwis. They will have a massive opportunity to try and make this 12-12 going into halftime now. Papali'i gets back up to his feet. Smith plays it off to Hughes now on the short side of the field. Bromwich. It's the short ball across to, I believe it was actually Brown to Bromwich there. And Brown gets it again. Attack and run for New Zealand. Getting close now. Liu just a couple meters out. New Zealand seem like they're right there. Almost able to break through, but they just can't quite get the job done. It's going to be another great tackle made by Fiji. That will move New Zealand up to their 4th tackle here. Close to the line. That will be 5th and final. Now they've got to go for the kick instead. As Papali'i just not quite able to get his way through, or they might go for the backline movement instead. Brown's going to put it high. Leaping up. Mulitalo not able to take it. And New Zealand, they try and keep the ball alive. I think it almost has been kept alive as well. Mulitalo still manages to keep it in the field of play for New Zealand, and that will now be the handover. Sad, no live feed for Fiji TV. It's a shame. I wish it was free to air. Definitely in Fiji, at the end of the day, it's a quarterfinal, and I'm sure there's a country well and truly behind their side here. So it's a shame that they don't have anywhere to watch live. I will mention the Rugby League World Cup YouTube channel will have the highlights of this game straight after the matches finish. But until then, I believe there is no other coverage that you can find of actual match footage that is free, sadly. And thank you, mate, for the nice commentary. Says Royal Man 14, no worries at all. Fiji once again going to have this ball in hand, moving up to 30 meters out from their own line. Run actually taken there by Kurisau. That one. Let's get another tackle made by the Kiwis. It was Jerome Hughes. Had to make the tackle there. Mulitalo juggling there. I was surprised that somehow that ball still kept in the field of play, because first of all, it was tapped back by, I think it was Nicole Cloxton, and then from there, Mulitalo, he had a bit of a fiddle with it. wasn't quite able to keep it where he wanted it to. Now Naikuama passes up the middle of the field, 20 meters out to the line now, up to fourth. And this will be the last attacking set, I would think, for the Fijians of the half. Now going off to the left-hand side, 12 points to 6. They thought about the kicking option there, but instead we'll have one last crash up with Nikupawai. Now last tackle, fifth and final, making 70 meters short ball. Kakao tries to go for the miracle offload, wasn't able to find it, and Joseph Manu is wrestled down by the Fijian defence in Kurisau. New Zealand only 1 meter from their own line here. Another flat pass. New Zealand, strategically, they should probably look to just close out this half without having too much of the possession back in the hands of Fiji and got to set them in and suffocate out their own restart. My dear, what's the score now? Says Salasieni. Hopefully I've said that correctly. It is still currently 12 points for Fiji, 6 for New Zealand with 17 seconds left of the first half. For New Zealand looking to pierce their way through. Jerome Hughes, the cutout pass. Mulitalo, though, this might change it. If he can get down the wing, he's being dragged down. And that will be now a penalty in favour of the Kiwis. In fact, no, they're going to say it's halftime. So that will be 12 points to 6 at halftime in this contest. Go, Fiji, go, says Jokovetti there. Yeah, very good half for the Fijians. They came in as underdogs for this contest. They got themselves the first 12 points on the board, and they were still considered as underdogs. And now, with New Zealand firing back with a try of their own, I believe Fiji will probably be sitting as a good, probably $7 underdog or somewhere around there, which seems crazy with how well they played in that first half of rugby. And solid half, Fiji, says Nate, and also Kiwis will be running away with it in the second half. Fiji just hanging in there, says Cooper Cronk, although the handling will certainly have to improve for the Kiwis if they do want a chance of being able to go on and win this game, because currently we haven't really seen too much from New Zealand that said that they will be able to hang on to that ball. And thank you, mate, for the live commentary. So we're all, man, no worries at all, mate. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more of the live commentary for the Rugby League World Cup coming up. The next game that we are doing on the commentary side of things for the World Cup will be Samoa versus Tonga tomorrow night. That's going to be a massive clash. Cannot wait to see how that matchup goes. Kiwis will come back in the second half, says Gabriel, and Fiji will win, says Jokovetti, and also Kiwis needs to smash it out from the get-go second half, and Hughes playing out no mind being comfy skills in there. Just got to set it or set in and milk the cow, says Golden Guess. But like they said, the Fijians in their first half, brilliant play. They only had a 71.4 completion rate. That is something that may end up costing them in the second half if they do not look to improve it a bit more. They are just talking about Israel Adesanya defending his UFC title relatively soon up against Pereira. That is going to be next Sunday. Should be a very exciting UFC card. We did see Mark Hunt take on Sonny Bill Williams, and that was an interesting fight overall. I did see the highlights of who won it, but I didn't actually see the, I guess you could say, the build-up to the try as well. But currently 6-all in the game between France and Australia. So it's another low-scoring one where they may not have too many tries, although Piper just cancelled a French try, says Hanoi there. And also go Fiji go, says SD in the chat as well. But yeah, very good first half from the Fijians. And even though we did miss the first 3 minutes of the game because of the overlap with South Africa and Ireland, still seemed to come in at just the right time. And Fiji still, from the moment we saw them, they have been having plenty of the ball in hand, running the ball hard as well. Go, Bati, go, says Riziate there. And what happened to I Am Nutty? Did he get dismissed? I think Sebastian may have dismissed him in the end. I think the two were having a bit of an argument overall. Also, we've got the Mate Ma'a New Zealand, and also Let's Go Fiji, says Jabez, and also Mark Hunt still hits like a truck. He does indeed, and Fiji one scheduled to live stream whatever happened. Go Bati go, says Nelly, and Fiji all the way, says Viniana, and Nutty got sent to the graveyard, says Mako Vunapola. I feel like the graveyard's the perfect time for me to put in my vampire fangs from Halloween, but I don't think I will because they don't really work that well. Australia have just been able to score themselves the try and their match up against the French. The thing is, they don't actually have anything that they hook on to. So pretty much you just got to put them in and hold them there with your tongue. It's actually really hard work, and you can't really talk properly either. Quite sharp. They'd probably cut into an apple if you let them. That was my Halloween costume. Or actually, that was for one of the live streams, or in fact, a video that we did. I want Fiji to win, but Joseph Manu and Jerome Hughes are the key players to win it for the Kiwis. So here's Gabriel. So yeah, they're certainly going to have a good second half for New Zealand. I think Mulitalo also slots in there as one of the key players for New Zealand. And then if you're going to pick one more, I would probably go with Asafa Solomona, just for that extra size. Whereas for the backs, for the Fijian, Sivo's already been dangerous. Naikwama was able to score himself the early try. Taruva's been good. To be honest, Hamish Nutty was at Gronk. I'm asking effed up questions. It says Nathan there as well. Yeah, maybe a little bit for a few of them. But I want Fiji. Oh, no, I really want a Fiji winner. I'll probably going to shout Fiji 1, says Royal Man 14. And it's a nice early morning start for you guys in Fiji as well, isn't it? Yes. For us, it feels really weird. We've got one more half of rugby union. One more half of rugby league to cover. And then after that, we are actually going to be able to sleep for a little bit of time. Then we're back for the quarterfinals of the Sevens taking place at about 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So a lot of sport coming up. And then we've also got those games that I mentioned, including the Tonga versus Samoa game. That's going to be an epic game when it does take place. And Bullet from Fiji says, Mr. Westside, welcome in, mate. I hope you are doing very well. I hope you are excited for the upcoming match and the upcoming second half of this game. And this won't be no surprise. Fiji beat the Kiwis last World Cup. Tables could turn come the second half, says Loki. And yeah, I think a lot of people are expecting Fiji to slow down at some stage throughout this matchup. But I haven't seen it yet. Well, I mean, who made the scores for Fiji because they came late, says Royal Man 14. So the first try of the match was scored by Micah Sivo. And then the second try of the match was scored by Naikwama. And then also for New Zealand, the one try scorer for them was Ronaldo Mulitalo. And he's lucky I wasn't a moderator. Boy, I'll fully send it as early Christmas present. Are you not a moderator, Nate? I feel like I've got to do a little bit of adjusting here. Surely you should be a moderator by now. I feel like it's one of those ones that I just assumed that you were. Do you want to be moderator, Nate? Do let me know. I can promote you if you would like. And also Sivu with his typical Parramatta try, yeah, just straight down the wing. Bashes over the top of anyone. And Bullet from Fiji, says Lazaro. Welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. And Australia will win everything, says Jonathan. And also Fiji win on buying an F-comb for the boys at work. I just hope my inspector pulls a leave this week. Melissa's already up to 30, says Golden Guest. And there as well. One moment, we will go like this. And we will move that to there and that to here. And Australia in that game up against France, they are winning 13 points to 6 for anyone wondering. And also, whenever you're ready, boss, hit me moderator, says Nate. See, I thought you were already a moderator. I thought you had a spanner. I almost accidentally put you in a timeout. That would have been quite bad, wouldn't it? There you go. You have been promoted. You now have a spanner next to yourself. I feel like I should bow or something. We should have a celebration. I don't know really any celebration songs other than if it was your birthday. Big congratulations to Nathan. Does a Viti. Says Max there in tough match for the Kiwis, and also happy says Golden Guest. And the chat as well, like they're saying, Taruva, he's been very dangerous throughout this matchup. We'll go like this. Hang on, I got to find where my stream went. There it is. And we will go like that and like that. There we go. We have now got it back, and also Classic Boss. And also Nate is a batch up member of the Kiwi Lads now. Oosh. And also happy B-Day, says Golden Guest in there as well. And if Fiji win this game, it will certainly be feeling like their birthday for this contest, and they will be going through to the semi-final, where they would be taking on Australia, a side that they met in the group stage. Of Fiji win, I'll build all the players a mansion, each on Minecraft, says Stone Cold. That is a lot of mansions. What's your prediction on Tonga versus Samoa? It's a tough game. That one, either side could take it, but I'm going to say Tonga win it by 6. Seems to be a common scoreline for myself. I think that was my prediction I went with earlier on in the week. And off to play bowling with the kids. Catch you later, guys and gals. Go the Kiwis. That will be a lot of fun, Marco. Be sure, have the sides down. Let us know how much you score as well later on when we've got our 7s live stream. Because I was shocking in bowling the last time I played. And Tonga and Samoa is on right now. Says Golden Guest, not quite. It is in about 16 hours' time. It's going to be a game kicking off at 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow night. Toss of Fiji all the way, says Fee. And then Ushma Kiwi lads Farnells, says Nate. And there as well. But Fiji shock leaders over Kiwis at halftime is actually the headline that they've got up on the screen. And kiss your Tonga Mrs. Gold Teeth mouth for me, Marky. Says Marco. And also we have good day. They play bowling at church now, Marco. And also, cheers, boss. I got you, says Nate. But it's 6 points to 12. So, yeah. I guess at this stage, Fiji, if they keep on doing what they've been doing in that first half, they have a good chance of winning this contest. At the end of the day, like we mentioned, if history repeats itself, they may be able to get themselves another win over the Kiwis in a Rugby League World Cup quarterfinal. But the big question at the moment is, will New Zealand be able to find that extra gear that they're after? We've seen them do it in the past in second 40s of rugby, but like they're saying, 40 minutes away for the Fijians from locking in a monumental clash with the Australians in the semi-final. Like they're saying, it's going to be an absolutely awesome second half. When it does get underway, we'll just have a quick look and see what the France score is sitting at. By the looks of it, Australia are going to be lining up the 3 points here for themselves. All right, we'll go like this. And we will go like that. I'm trying to check the odds and it's misbehaving at the moment, unfortunately. I mean, it's slightly crashing my phone. There we go. There we go. The odds for this game are actually still $4.25 for the Fijians as the underdogs. And as we go, the Kiwis, says Troy. So he is open to see a Kiwi comeback. The question is, though, do they have it in their tank to be able to go on and get the job done? Currently showing the New Zealanders, they will be playing up against South Africa in a T20 World Cup semi-final relatively soon. Will New Zealand find themselves up against Australia in this semi-final? That is another question that we have still got at the moment. Also, hello, just back from the pub. What a day. And Emmy, I got half an hour left to hit Big Macca's big breakfast. Too drunk to drive and don't want the chick of the drive-through to stare at again, says Golden Guest. So have you got Uber Eats? So I feel like that would be a very decent option for yourself maybe in this scenario. I'm getting an ad with you. We've got some weird ads at the moment in New Zealand, I've noticed. There we go. France versus Australia. Currently 13 points to 6 still. And I'm going Tonga over Samoa, says obviously there, and also not enough for Uber Eats, says Golden Guest. So you're in a predicament, aren't you? In Australia 13, France 6, says Richard in there. So actually almost right on cue when I was talking about that game. You have worked out what the score is. So France actually down early on up against the Australians, which is an interesting one. You'd think they might be able to fire their way up in the second half perhaps as well, but currently not too far away from this second half getting underway. It has been quite a long halftime break. We are just excited to see this game back in action. I might as well buy the Uber guy a feed, says Golden Guest in there as well. But if you haven't got enough for Uber Eats, how are you going to buy the Uber Eats guy a feed as well? And Samoa better win. If they lose, the ref are going to catch these hands, says Low Key in there as well. And too many stupid Maoris in the team. That's why they're losing, says the Kummels fan. And there's, I mean, that's quite the statement. I mean, New Zealand overall, though, I feel like the second half is normally where they do make their money and when they do play their better game of rugby league. We have to have France are being outpowered, says Richard English there. I think off the interchanges, I think both teams have made 3 or 4 for themselves. And I am the Uber, says Golden Guest. Wait, so you are now, but you are drunk as well, so it doesn't really work, does it? If you are too drunk to drive and you are an Uber driver, I feel like that's probably one that you shouldn't put on your resume or in your description of your Uber service. So I'm pretty sure Fiji will win, as I'm sure they would have better rugby breeding, says the Australian Health Show. And of course, they will be going on to face off against the Australians if they do manage to get themselves the victory. But in that first half, you'd have to say for the Fijians, Taruva had a very good half of rugby league. Sivo wasn't too bad. Nagwama was everywhere as well. And then in the forwards, I mean, I want to say that Kamikami Tha was getting a little bit involved, but he didn't really get too much time. As usual, the Samoans made the Kiwi team good, says Kimmels fan. And on paper, Samoa should win, but Tonga has a better coach. Could go either way, says Stone Cold. And then for New Zealand in that first half, I would say Jerome Hughes was actually pretty handy for the Kiwis. Asafa Solomona getting some big runs forward as well. And also I'll get a 5-star rated for giving an extra, says a Golden Guest. And also, not going to lie, for real though, says Aimbot in there. And now the siren is sounding the second half, just about to get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, Samoa win, fellas. They are too big, says the Australian Health Show. Yeah, they certainly built solid, that Samoan side. Although the same can be said about Tonga, of course, recently getting Jason Taumalolo back. I feel like he is an X-factor player that could certainly turn a game around, but it will be kicked off by Wakeham. Get us underway for the second half in this fixture. New Zealand able to take it nicely and now charging at the line, trying to make as many early meters as they physically can. Try and get themselves back into the contest. I believe that was actually the run from Isaiah Papali'i for Samoa rematches England. We a different story this time, says Aimbot there. Now back across. Running nicely, it is Leo. As well moves up to 30 meters out from the Kiwi line. Now one more off, another big carry forward from Asafa Solomona for the Kiwis. And also second half Kiwis need to pick up their game, says Hami there. And they certainly need to start better than they did in the first half up against the Fijians. They allowed Fiji to get 12 relatively easy points just from little mistakes that they didn't really need to make. Nicely taken by Sivo after 61 meters game from the Kiwis. It is now going to be Fiji who have got themselves the possession once again. Now off to the right-hand side, attacking it hard. Fiji 20 meters out from their line. The second half's probably going to fly by relatively quickly, I would think, with the way that the first half went. It did seem to absolutely steamroll by as soon as the side started finding their momentum. The Manu gave too much to Toa instead of saving themselves or saving some for themselves, says Golden Guest there. Now Noawama once again hits the line. He's already got himself a try in this match. Wouldn't mind getting another one, though. Up to fourth tackle now, sitting 40 meters out from their line here, Samoa. Oh, sorry, Fiji, I should say. We're talking about Samoa a lot. I'm getting excited now for that game they have got up against the Tongans in tomorrow's matchup of the Rugby League World Cup. That will actually be the last quarterfinal game as well. Now Mulitalo runs it back at the line. New Zealand have certainly been playing a lot more of the territory game up against the Fijians here, making around that 60 meters or so per set, rather than Fiji, who have been making maybe about around that, let's say, maybe 30 to 40 meters. Seems to be the amount that they are able to get for themselves. Now going on to the short side, Brandon Smith wrestled down. Didn't really have the opportunity that he thought he may have on that side of the field. Now another big run from, I believe it was Bromwich. And I got Fiji plus 30.5, so I should be okay. You certainly should be. If Fiji lose by 30.5 in this game, they will certainly be hugely disappointed. If Fiji can score first in the second half, they will have this game on lock, says Loki. And currently New Zealand trying to break their way through. It's another drop ball from New Zealand. Obviously, whatever they had on their hands in the first half, they weren't able to wipe it off going into the second, because that is another handling error for New Zealand in this matchup. That's got to bring it up to around the 10 mark already. We are only sitting 43 minutes through this contest. It was set up that time by Valeme. Another good carry from Naku Bawai. New Zealand just once again, Rapana just lets it slip out of the hand. To go Fiji, you can. If you think you can. Now Fiji attacking well. 20 meters away from New Zealand's line here. Now Fiji go on short side. Naiwama got the pass on the outside. He doesn't need it. And Naiwama gets a second for the Fijians. They score again, and New Zealand now might be down by a bit more, though they do want to check this if Samoa wins the Hong Kong Sevens. If they can upset Tonga, it's going to be a double win, says Aimbot there. And yeah, their game tomorrow up against, it will be Argentina in the Sevens, or later on today, in fact, it will be. And it'll be an exciting one to watch. Okay. They want to check all of the angles of this one to see if the ball was grounded. And also, come on, Fiji, go Fiji, go Fiji, says Anari there. Spinning, that's on the line. And that's going to be the try for Naiwama. Now Fiji find themselves just a little bit further in the lead in this contest. And also Fiji Buller says golden guest. And there as well. Like they're saying, all the ball's got to do is touch that line, and that is exactly what it did. Fiji now scoring themselves another try. I'd like to think that they would be close to coming in as favourites now. It's always hard to tell. But we will go here, and we will have a quick look. 10 in front for the Fijians. So they were $4.25 at halftime. Now they are $2.25 underdogs. Well, Kiwis probably been drinking the night before. They don't seem like they want to win this contest, says Loki, and also tries, says Hanoi, and also Fiji Buller, says golden guest, and go Fiji go, says it was Eliza Pithi, hopefully I've said that correctly, and yes, it's a try, says Ellie Noam, bro, I love your commentating skills, says Aimbot in the I do appreciate you being here a lot, mate. If you are new to the channel, anyone who is watching, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more of the Rugby League World Cup coming up in the future. We also cover the Sevens, the Rugby Union, and that a great try for Naiwama. Gets himself the second of the contest. Vanaka Levu says Alfesi and England beat Samoa in an upset. Says Hanoi there. And also if Samoa win against MMT, I will hide my emotions at home, says Golden Guest. And also Fiji is favourite to win everyone. Go Fiji, says Anari. Now, Brandon Wakeham will be lining up this kick to make the score 18 points to 6 in favour of the Fijians. And go Fiji, go, says Kitioni. Wakeham, he's got it pretty good. And it's going to be going over 18 points to 6 now in favour of the Fijians. They are certainly making it tough for the Kiwis. And also WTF is going on and the Kiwis playing bad. They certainly are. They have dropped the ball about 10 times. And it's really been costing them not just the territory, but also costing them their attacking opportunities, which is something the Kiwis would have had a few of if they had been able to hang on to that ball. But yeah, they've just made a lot of errors throughout the first 45 minutes of this game. New Zealand kicking off to Fiji again. It will be the big hit up. Taruva gave it off to the hands of Fiji. That time it was once again, I believe, the number 11. I want to say Sanrugu. And do most of Fiji play NRL? There are a few of the Fijian players who are scattered throughout the NRL. Probably the most notable is probably either Sivo, Kurisel, Kakao. Is Taruva in the NRL as well? Thanks, Fiji, says Hope there. And also go Fiji, go, says Bill, and go Fiji, says Savito. I think Tonga will win, which I'm hoping I'm wrong, says Loki. And also Deadly Fanels kicks our Kiwis message removed due to profanity, says Nathan there. Oh, you're already getting the hang of the moderating side of things. And Fiji still $2.50, says the Australian Health Show. And I like eating good, says Golden Guest. Now nicely taken by Muritalo. Goes across for New Zealand, and it will be Joseph Manu hitting it up at the line, driven backwards. And go Fiji, go, says Hope. Yeah, as well. And also 13 plus, it's 15-1. Can New Zealand come back, or it's all over, says Coding. At the moment, you'd have to say New Zealand, they've still got the potential to be able to come back. Thank you, commentator. Fiji should win, but not New Zealand. Tosa Bati Toso. And there says Salasani. I think I said that differently to the first time, didn't I? And also Taruva for the Panthers, says Savito there. Now New Zealand move up to the halfway. That's going to be fifth and final. And it seems like Fiji are giving up a lot less meters when it comes to their attack as well. Has played a few games for the Panthers Premier side as injury cover. Says Loki, that's going to become the penalty for New Zealand. Very lucky that they get that one, as they were on their fifth tackle. Like they're saying, they needed that penalty, and they've been able to get just that. And Toa Samoa, in my opinion, is the best back spine in the World Cup right now, says Aimbot. And also Defence Fiji, says Ropetti. And also I think 12 is a lot for this match, says the Australian Health Show. And the thing is, last time these two sides played in a Rugby League World Cup, it was 4 points to 2 in favour of Fiji. We have already seen a total of 24 points in this game. So I guess in some ways it's 2 points to 4, isn't it? Just in a different kind of muddled way. Now the ball passed out. Joseph Manu cuts up the middle of the field now for New Zealand. It's slippery out there, which means you only have to get within a few metres and then you just slide straight over the line. But 10 metres out now for New Zealand after passing it a couple of times. Isaiah Papali'i tries to spin out of the tackle. Another great one made on him by the Fijian defence. Asafa Solomona close to the line. 2 metres out now. Go Fiji, says A. Now across to the right-hand side, it's going to be the short ball from Jerome Hughes. Once again, New Zealand just shorter out. I know they have gone over. And it will be the try for Britain. Nakoro scores himself the second try of the match for New Zealand. Still 400 live watching and same says going in there. Yeah, it is hugely appreciated. Every single person for tuning into this live stream. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe as we have got plenty more coming in the near future for the Sevens and also the Rugby League, Rugby Union, you name it, we are covering it on the channel. If Tonga win, I'll be eating good all week. Says Golden Guest and Go Fiji, says Anari, and also Wallabies and Fiji leading in the 2 upsets, says Annoy, and thanks commentator, says Hope, no worries at all, and let's go, says Turbo Tom, and aimbot backs don't win games with a solid 4-pack. Teams need to be balanced, says Low Key. And also Go Fiji Go, says Maggie. A good run forward. Initially, it looked like it was going to be held short of the line for Nakura, but then he did manage to bulldoze his way forward just a little bit further. Got himself the try. Joe says amazing. And then also Fiji says Anari, and Go Fiji Go says Philemoni. Jordan Rapana, he's 1 from 1 tonight. This is an important kick as it does still keep them at the chance of sitting around that draw. There's a big yawn. I guess it makes sense. We have been up for around 17 or 18 hours at the moment. Also, Villamoni has said, thanks, commentator, to the ABs win. They did indeed win 55 points to 23 over Wales. The kick has gone over from Rapana, and it will make the score now 18 points to Fiji and 12 for New Zealand. If the Kiwis win now, damn, I'll be eating good and feeling good, says Golden Guest. Yeah, just not quite held. Broke his way through. And Nakura, he's only recently come off the bench, I believe, and already being able to have a bit of an impact in this contest. Still 30 minutes left on the clock, though. Plenty of time for both of these sides to still cement themselves in that semi-final. We already know one of the sides. In fact, 2 of the sides of the semi-finals. England, they are on one side of the draw. Australia are on the other. And the winner of this game will go on to face Australia in the upcoming semi-final next week. Now it is going to be driven forward by Isaiah Papali'i. He was running there quick that the camera was having a trouble just focusing on him while he was charging at the line. Now Bromwich, once again, that time it was Kenny and Fiji 100, says Anari, and also if it is 50-50 and there, and also yes, 100 Fiji, says no. Another yawn from myself. We're yawning flat out in this last live stream of the morning, I guess you could say, until we have a little sleep. And then we are going to be, wow, that's a big shot from Viliami Kakao. But then we are back in for the Sevens. Now, your board says, Marty, certainly not bored, just have been awake for about 18 hours. So that is the only reason that there are yawns that are coming in every once in a while. Sevo, now going back across. We're also into about our 12th hour of live streaming today. So that might also be why there is a yawn sticking in. The only problem I have is I wouldn't hear the last of it at work. I have to go cover until they come say, or they can say, I can go home, says Golden Guest. And if Tonga win, I will be broke for a week, says Loki, and go New Zealand Kiwi. Yes, says Reed Nickel, and currently are down by the 6 points. It's in the hands of Fiji, though, just out from their own 20-metre line. Great short hands to Kami Tha. Fiji up to their 4th tackle, so this will be the final one for Taruva there. One New Zealand team will have to take a loss tonight or day as Old Black Fern wins, ABs wins, and Black Cats win tonight, says Nate there. So I guess it would be a very lucky day for New Zealand if that is the case. And there's many listening in Fiji. Hello, Fiji, says Anari there. And doing well, sir, says Money T. Now going to be available once again for New Zealand, sitting 20 metres out from the line. Joseph Manu makes it up to 30. Fiji now in the chat as well from Ken. And any update on Wallabies versus France? Currently in that game, France have taken the lead 19 points to 13 is how it is sitting. I thought for a second there was a double red card, but it's just the colour of the scoreboard they have gone with for the match. Now, Jordan Rapa moves just a little bit further up the field. And, bro, sorry, got to go help out my brother. But it was fun watching you, Sears Aimbot. Appreciate you being here, mate. That was very high from Kamikamitar. But it is going to be fifth and final now. 80 metres gain. New Zealand starting to find themselves a bit more momentum. Grab it in behind. Fiji clean it up. Taruva does well. He's been everywhere at the back. But Kamikamitar has only recently come onto the field. That was for Manuel Leo Levave. Did have to go off for the HIA. And Tamora Viti, there's Nero there. And also we have got there Wananavo Viti. And it's Kiwi going to win, says Mannix. It's a tough one to predict at the moment. It's relatively close. Fiji look like they've lost a bit of their momentum heading into the second half. But New Zealand still well and truly are not, I guess, out of the woods yet. The Kiwis will be wiping their backsides with Fiji jersey and flag soon, says thanks. I mean, they've already got 18 points against the Kiwis, so I don't think that would be the case. I think they'll be lucky to get past them in this contest, depending on how it goes. And Fiji looking to break the line again. Sofa Solomoni has been taken off the field. That is for James Fisher-Harris. I'm watching the game on Spark Sport, says Cooper Cronk. And also morning, by the way, says the report. Welcome in. And also we have got there, did they not sell Red Bull? Or do they not sell Red Bull in St. Andrews? Says the report. Not that I know of. I also haven't ever really consumed an energy drink, believe it or not. And so yourself out, New Zealand, come on the boys, says Daft. And I have some sheep waiting for the New Zealand team when they came home, or when they come home, says Gas. And also I want New Zealand to win, says Cooper. And also what's the score, Cooper? Says Mannix. And there. Up to the third tackle now for New Zealand. Fisher-Harris goes across now to Hughes. Manu breaks. Almost through half an inch short of the line there. That is going to be the fourth tackle in a row. Oh, he's fallen over the line. Almost accidentally put it down. Now the wide cutout pass goes to Jerome Hughes. One more for New Zealand off to the left-hand side. They have got numbers. The interception attempt came from Fiji. And, I think Moletalo's foot might have been untouched. They're going to have to check this one. And Tosa Bati says, Sam there, let's go Fiji. Thank you, bro, for the commentary. Says Mr. Westside, no worries at all. Was he held up in the air while they're carrying him over the lines? I think he might have been. And my God, you're a machine to survive 18 hours without energy drink, says the report. Yeah, I guess we're very lucky in some regards that I've somehow been able to continue talking throughout most of this time. One moment. Right, they are going to be checking this one to see if Mulitalo was taken into touch. He had him pulling by the... I don't know if the ball's down there for Mulitalo. He might have messed this one up. A big day of USA Sport 2 World Series Game 6 from Houston. Astros 1 win from clinching. And also have some ghost clips waiting for the Kiwis if they lose, says Stone Cold. And also him no score. I'm liking the carver, says Golden Guest. Yeah, that ball was up the whole time and he was forced into the dead ball area. Brilliant defense from Fiji. Wakeham got himself in the perfect body position. The ball is held up. Great work from Wakeham. That is the type of play that could win you a game. And also who scored first, says Ghost. It was the first try for Fiji, and it was Maika Sivu who was able to score it. And come on, Fiji, hold on to that lead. Defense. Don't give up. You can do it, says Gas in there. And also nice work, Fiji. And yes, no try. And also we have got there Fiji, says Cooper plays, and go New Zealand go, says Walter. And there, no try, says Cooper plays. Yeah, so New Zealand, they'll be a little bit disappointed. So close to being able to get themselves over the line, but just missing out. Kikaha Kiwis, says Mannix in there. Now over the top. Great work initially from Mulitalo to be able to duck under that challenge, but then he did get caught by the second defender, and that really slowed him down. And then he got held up. And Tosaviti says Sochelle there. And also, look what she's done. Look what she's done, my baby. I got that from once were warrior, says Offici in there. And Kikaha Fiji says Anari. It is going to be another penalty going the way of New Zealand here. The discipline of Fiji could be something that costs them in this contest, depending on whether or not they can get it right. Losing control of the ball. They've said that it was an illegal strip from the Fijians, and the attack can only lead to a try, but Fiji players need not to fatigue. And the thing is, Fiji now having to defend a lot more in the second half than they did have to in the first. So I feel like that may cost them a little bit. Alai has said Fiji, and now Fiji needs to win, says Nari. And as well, that's going to be 6 more for the Kiwis. So everything at the moment in the last kind of 2 minutes or so has been going the New Zealanders' way. Kenny Bromwich wrestled down by Sims, just breaks through. He's dropped the ball though again. And as I said, that everything was going their way, they jinx it again for the Kiwis. And go Fiji. Says Faumuina. Hopefully I said that correctly. And also we have got there in the chat, I need to win Lotto. Says Stone Cold. But Fiji at the moment, they'll feel like they've won the Lotto because every time New Zealand get close to that try line, they put the ball down and allow Fiji to get it back. Taruva with another carry forward. But Kenny Bromwich, he tried to dive for the line and ended up just knocking the ball on in the process. Currently 24 minutes left on the clock. Fiji up 18 points to 12 here in this fixture. After their 4th tackle already, position is pretty much 50-50 throughout this match. And I think that was relatively expected as well. Ball dropped again. Yes, yes. Says Anare, and also you want garlic in your buttered steak, Hammy. Oh, now I'm just hungry. I haven't eaten anything since about 1 a.m. That's a big kick. New Zealand, though, the mistake from Mulitalo. He got a hand on it. Then from there, it got taken back further. And I believe that's almost going to be a 5-metre scrum now. Or 10-metre scrum, I should say. In favour of the Fijians. And go Fiji, go. Thanks, bro. Go, buddy. CSM and New Zealand is not try now. Ruby is a distraction. Why use watch it? Your mind control government are killing use. Wake up. Or rugby, I believe that's supposed to be from Dean. Spelling is also a distraction, I guess, in that regard. And I think it's Fiji's day, as I can't put money on them, says the Australian Health Show. In New Zealand, you should keep dropping the ball when almost there, says Anarian and Bulla Tosaviti. And there's also we have got there. Thanks, bro. Go, buddy, from Sam. Big run back from Fiji. Oh, it's actually the goal line dropout, I should mention. On there, and also Bruv says Mannix. Now Sims gives it off to the number 10. Hit the like button and subscribe, Kiwi lads. Get them bells tinging, alerting, or alert tinging in there in Southern Fiji. Now the nice pass, the drawn pass that is from Fiji, out to the left-hand side, almost able to pierce their way through. The Nakabawai, not quite able to work out for him. Now Sims tries to attack the line again. And how many of you are sleepwalkers? I have actually never sleepwalked, fun fact. I guess I'm probably not a good example. And New Zealand Kiwis, a.k.a. Butterfinger, says, Max, yeah, they've dropped the ball a lot throughout the first 58 minutes, getting close to the line now for Fiji. It's going to be 5th and final. They have to release him. Going off to the left-hand side. It was a rough pass, but it's brilliantly taken by Kurisau. Going to hit the leg. Believe it is still going to be the 5th and final. Another kick in behind. Kakao doesn't quite get it right now. Jerome Hughes cleans the ball up for New Zealand. And Kiaha Fiji. And watching from Island Trader Bulla, says Niroi. Hopefully I've said it correctly. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And go Fiji, says Haunani there. Well, now 59 minutes through. New Zealand move up almost to the halfway line in the carry of Joseph Manu up to the 3rd tackle now for New Zealand. And like I mentioned, Fiji's defence in the second half has been a lot better. They haven't allowed New Zealand to make those easy meters that we did see throughout the first half that they were able to get. But now going off to the right-hand side, another attack and run. That will be Isaac Louis. Olaiu, I should say there. And thanks for the live commentary, sir. Not live in our country. There's Sochelle. It's kicked him behind. Fiji able to clean up. And Taruva is back there once again, doing the hard work at the back. And after the game, Fiji 18, New Zealand 20. And as some of the watchers, mainstream media, and believe it, says Dean. So I guess you don't believe that rugby is real, I assume, is your argument that you're making there, Dean. Interesting. I wonder whether or not, do you ever go and watch a movie, Dean? Because I assume you also sit there and go, did you know this isn't real? To the people who are sitting next to you. Now, passing it back across Fiji, still going to be attacking. 5th and final here for them. And also, morning, Amish. How's your morning, brother? It's going very well, and thanks for the commentary, bro. Says Mannix, no worries at all. We will be doing some more of the rugby league in the future. That one's close to the touchline. Mulitalo almost ends up stepping into touch, but he's just managed to keep it in the field of play. I should have added at 30, Walter, as well for Golden Guest. And also the game, Fiji will win, and I love you, Fiji. Go, Fiji, go, says Faumuina there. Faumuina? Hopefully I've said that correctly. Now New Zealand continuing to drive up to 30 metres out from the line. Go, boys, says Mannix, and go, Fiji, go, says Tamasi. Now, Liu with the nice offload. Fisher Harris keeps the ball recycling. As we get there, the Fijian guys there, 30 Fiji, New Zealand 18. How many minutes left for the game to end, says Akash? Currently, we have got another 20 minutes left on the clock between the two sides, so still plenty of time for both to be able to score some more points on the board. New Zealand dragged down 1 metre short of line, fifth and final after making 80 metres. Now going off Kieran Foran. Kick across from Jerome Hughes, gliding through the skies. It's going to be cleaned up, though, beautifully by Fiji. And it was Apisai Kurisau who was able to take it brilliantly. I think New Zealand are asking for a penalty for something there, but the referee has said play on. Now New Zealand try and drive him into touch and go Fiji go. Says the cushion, also go Fiji, says Sitaita. And there you're not doing the Wallabies versus France game, says Junior Ryder. No, but we have been keeping an eye on it on our phone so that I can see exactly what it is sitting here. And I love you, Fiji Samoa semis at the moment. Very close game at the moment between France and the Wallabies. We have got there my Bati, says Wise there. Jerome Hughes, they are just saying maybe there's a little bit of an injury lurking for him. Could be a little bit wobbly on his feet. Kieran Foran has to try and make the tackle on the huge Fijian running Kamatha. Fifth and final, only 29 metres game there. Your governments worldwide, says Dean. I feel like you just decided that a rugby live stream was the best time to try and spout your random opinions, Dean. Out of all the options, you were like, right, what can I type in that I think people will be watching? I don't know, Rugby League World Cup. And then you're just trying to, I guess, get friends or just get your opinion across. It's interesting. It also started live on Fiji 1, 62-minute mark. Or started live on Fiji 1, 62-minute mark live. Says it was choked there. And also 24-18 to New Zealand. Says amazing. Now going to be the pass across to Mulitalo. Doesn't quite find the offload on the inside. Ruby is a distraction. So as in Ruby Tui, I assume you are talking the New Zealand Rugby Union player. Maybe. Now that is going to be great run forward. Joseph Manu, he's got the try for the Kiwis. Now this is going to be 18 all between these two sides. And ultimately Mods bet him, no place for that, says the little report as well. Yeah, I think he's going to end up with himself as a timeout for a start and then see how it develops. And also we will give our best shot, Fiji, said Pat. One more try, Fiji. You get it in France, 19, Australia, 13 at halftime, but a brilliant try down the wing. Mulitalo, it was a great run forward. Found that offload on the inside into the hands of Joseph Manu. Those two seem to be two peas in a pod throughout this game. A nice Joey Manu, says Nate there as well. So that could now make the score 18-all. Good work, Hamish support. Hamish Super, says Trio there. And Ken Kiwis finished this strongly by the looks of it. They're starting to build their momentum once again. Let's go, boys, says the Lim report. Mulitalo, nice run. And what's the real point, says Royal Man, currently sitting 16 points to 18 with a kick to come. So that is probably the big difference at the moment, as we don't know whether or not the kick is successful as of this very moment. And yes, try. And Tosaviti Tosso says the Fijian guy. And there is also the Fijians. They still certainly have plenty of support from the Fijian supporter base. But looks like they're currently getting quite a talking to from one of the coaches. And also we have got there New Zealand, says Foal Muina there. And also we have got there, yes, from the Lim report to Robert. Also New Zealand, also a members milestone chat too, says Robert. I was wondering what was happening in terms of what was being replied to. Does the winner play Australia? They certainly do. The winner of this match will go on to face Australia, and then the winner of Tonga versus Tonga versus Samoa will go on to face England. And someone take me to Fiji team to tell them straight. Come on, Fiji, says Anare. That's kick has gone over 18-all now between the two sides. And also we have got there, and this Kiwi side sucks, and thanks, bro, for the commentary, says Joke there. And also we have got there, come on, the Kiwi, says Duff, and win Kiwi, says Frio. And the chat as well. But Muritalo, he has been brilliant throughout some moments of this game, and then other moments he has had absolute brain fades. And my bad, boss. I was thinking already AFK a second there. Nah, it's all good. We were able to get him. And also Samoa Australia final, maybe, says the Australian health show, I should say. And also I'm back, says Cooper Plays. Welcome back, Fiji. Now kicking this one long to New Zealand. Jerome Hughes takes it. Now finds the offload across to Fisher Harris. Good shot on him, getting driven back with something we don't see too often for the Kiwi number 10. But Bromwich, he has gone off the field. That is Kenny, and that has been Tapina replacement. And also Toso Bati Toso And you're back, says NZ guy. But big shot there. I believe it was actually Corbin Sims who got the shot into the midsection. Now coming third. Also off the field, that is for Manuel Aleo Levivi. He was actually going off the field for an HIA. Go the Fiji Tokos. Says Davida there as well. Now going back across, this is anyone's game for the final 15 minutes, that is for sure. It could easily go the way of the Kiwis, but Fiji, they will not give up in this contest. They came in as underdogs and they want to prove that they should have been favourites heading into the match. Go New Zealand, go. There's Yana there. And also we have got the New Zealand teams have a bad habit of leaking early points, then winning it. Let's go the Bati. There's Muzzy. And there as well. That was a big shot from Sevo. Just runs it straight at the line. Knocks one of the Kiwi players on his buttocks. 14 minutes left in this matchup. Fiji, they currently have this ball inside of their own half. Now Cody Sal looking off to both sides, deciding which one looks better in Kiwis. We have too much gas for Fiji, says Amazing. And also we have got the Let's Go Buddy, says Muzzy. Yeah, nice work from Fiji, though. Moving up to the halfway line. Good attack and run once again. Taruva, just no caution at all. Throws himself at the line like he was just going to bounce back. Now it's going to be kicked high from Wakeham. Not going to be an easy kick to take. It's going to be nicely done, though, by New Zealand to be able to take it. Straight away, Talatholo, or not Talatholo, sorry. That is actually the Fijian winger for the Sevens. That is a name that rolled off the tongue very easy, but it was actually Mulitalo who then passed it back across. And go Fiji, go says Tui, and also we've got the Taosamo. Let's go says Vanji, and go New Zealand says Robert, and then go Fiji says Harris. Seems like a relatively even split. At the moment, maybe a little bit of an advantage in terms of supporters going for the Fijians in this matchup, and also Tosoviti Toso says Sataita there. Now, it'll be 13 minutes on the clock. New Zealand move up to the halfway line, fifth and final, but they have been able to find that offload first to Tapene. They keep it alive for just a little bit longer. Tackle by Kamita is opposite number. And what a margin you gave now. It's a draw. Wake up Fiji. Says Anari there. And go the Kiwi, says Jerome. It's kicked in behind by Jerome Hughes. Trying to get it. Sevo's knocked the ball on. That is a rare mistake from Fiji. Something we haven't seen too often at all. Has been Fiji handling errors, knocking the ball forward. And I think it might go to sudden death. Says this round Fiji is going for the win. Says Doa. I think they want a captain's challenge this. They're challenging for it. And also Timothy has said, go Fiji. Fiji is going for the win. And also I'm pretty sure Fiji may be better than the Kiwi ones. And also, even though I'm a New Zealander and a fan of the Kiwis, I think I'm more of a fan of the complete underdog. I reckon we might be getting us humbled. And there, on your Fiji, playing your hearts out, says Reese. And also love to all. Says Fisi there, and this could help. Right. Sevo goes up for the ball. I think they're trying to look for interference here rather than the knock-on, because if they're trying to say that it wasn't a knock-on, it was a clear one. Right, it's just a very slow motion shot. I think they're trying to say that the Fijian number 19 was pushed into the challenge. And, at some stage, there is a bit of an argument there. Peter Hiku does end up giving him the double-handed push to the back for Vailemi. So this might actually work out. I'm going to be my friend working too hard, says NZ Guy. Although we have still got the rest of this one, then I will set up the rest of the 7 live streams. And then from there, we will end up I'm going to be in for I think I get about 5 hours sleep today. And then I'm back up ready to go for the afternoon. Seven's got to give it up to Fiji. For our Fiji brothers playing a solid game, says Mannix there. And also go the Kiwis, says Ayana. Have I said that correctly? Hopefully I've said that relatively close. And go Fiji, says Timothy. And also let's go Kiwis, says Tyson. And the Kiwis getting redemption for the last World Cup, says Ty Vero. So Sevo for the knock-on ends up going the way of penalty for Fiji as well. So that will be a massive one for them. Now get up to the halfway line and continue trying to apply the pressure and blackout curtains. There's the limb report. I think my curtains, they're kind of black, but there's actually a gap above them from when we did the renovations because we are still getting everything sorted out in that regard. So, I normally sleep when it's light anyway, just because I've been that used to doing midnight live streams. And keep pushing Fiji. I'm going to sleep all day. If you win, says Anari. Now, Going to be available once again for Wakeham. He hasn't had too much of the ball in hand for running-wise, but he has been kicking extremely well. And England play New Zealand Thursday in the Cricket World Cup in the semi-final one. And Go Fiji Go says it was Ennis there. And also they need to improve whoever they play next week. Slow starter for our boys, Scooper, says Nate. Yeah, and that is a good point. Whoever plays up against the Australians next week will have to have a lot more of a clinical performance if they do want to try and go on and get themselves the win there. Now it's going to be fifth. The last tackle. Fiji may not have realised it's going to be the handover now. Kurisau not too happy with it. Kamikamitaa wanted to keep on grabbing at the ball. And yeah, same with the Black Ferns, Nate. And also Go Fiji Go. And France 19, Australia 16 with the penalty goal on the Australian Health Show. So relatively close in that game as well. Both games that were late starters in Union and League. Looking like they'll come down to the wire. New Zealand trying to run it out from their own 20. Jordan Rapana now going off to the short side. Nice step from Isaiah Papali'i, but great low tackle made from Kamikamitai. He's been busy throughout the second half. Not just running the ball, but also making the important tackles. Almost through there for the number 21, Nicole Clockstead. And Tosafiti says Tooks in there. And also Tosa Boys. Tessa Taita now driving forward again for New Zealand. Another drop ball. And I think he's saying that it was strip, but the question was it a one-on-one strip or was it a two-on-one? I think he wants to challenge. And Tosafiti says to Mothian, is there a golden point in this competition? Thanks, says Jonathan. There sure is. If these two sides are sitting at the exact same points, they will go to golden point up until someone is able to score themselves a little bit more. Well, I guess just the singular extra point. Just stop the game, give Fiji the win, says Nanari, and George and Isaac. Where are they? They will join you in any of these games. Probably not for the ones this weekend. I know that George is now farming relatively often, and also Isaac is up in Christchurch, so a few hours up the road. And my spark is dead, Emmy. Don't know if everyone is awake now or my TV hates me, says Golden Guest. And I feel like it's one of the worst times for it to crash, isn't it, with only another 10 minutes left on the clock. All right, they're checking to see if it was a two-man strip. Oh, I think it's just a loose carry from Joseph Manu there. And based off this performance, Aussie are going to have essentially a bye week to the finals, says Darth. And also New Zealand teams are slow starters, strong finishes, says Cooper, and also go for the drop goals. Okay, the commentators have said they think it's a loose carry. Oh, is that a Kakao hand, though? Oh, that's Kakao, actually. He does end up giving it a little bit of a pull. And 22-16 to France. It's going to be a close one. And great comeback by the Kiwis. I think they will win it, says Coding. Oh. So the penalty does go the way of New Zealand there for an illegal strip. And that is going to be in a brilliant position on the field for the Kiwis. Kiwis will win. They will go to training, fix their mistakes to face Australia, but I have the Kiwis to beat Australia, says Gabriel, and hard out Fiji solid, says it was Nate there as well. And great comeback by the Kiwis, and now they will actually be taking on the points, I believe, here, rather than going for the 6. They're only sitting at 4 apiece. Jordan Rapana, he knows that this one is not an easy kick, but he wants to get this one over. It's going to make the score 20 points to 18 if he is successful. And TV giving me off. I take the one, boys. Says Golden Guest. This is from 40 meters out. How much time remaining? There is currently another 9 minutes left on the clock. And thanks for the commentary, Amy. Says Golden Guest there. And also a good idea. Says Cooper Cronk. Although if he misses it, could become costly. I've said in the NRL, he only kicked 7 goals this year. Now, a game that may win them a quarter final in the Rugby League World Cup. Can New Zealand get in front for the first time tonight? Rapana, he's got the distance. It's gone over. And New Zealand now sit 20 points to 18 in the lead. Not a good choice to kick here, says Baba. And also Tosafiti, says Tamothi. Joseph Manu. They did call it as the strip, which then meant that New Zealand won themselves the penalty after the captain's challenge was successful. Also, they still got 9, says Golden Guest, and also we there, yep. And there as well, and the Wallabies are robbed. FFS says Xavier Brown, you're currently sitting 22 points to 16 in favour of the French. I feel like when I see one of those other words, I pop something out of place in my neck. 9 minutes is a big time. You can do it, Fiji. And also, we've got their great choice to kick and go the Kiwis go, says Anna there. And also, thanks to Rapana, says Jerome. And also, we have got their Namini, the Wallabies. And Australia is definitely going to take this World Cup out. What do you think about the Rugby World Cup pools overall? Was it fair? The groupings, unfortunately, were very one-sided, we did see throughout a majority of them. I think my favorite group to watch was Pool D, just because we saw some decently close matches in between. And to even have this game as close as this, as an L for the Kiwis, they needed to win this, says Baba. Now, New Zealand, they would be sitting 45 metres out from their own line, defending up against the Fijian side who want to get themselves one last crack. Or maybe they'll have more than one last crack. They're already up to their third tackle here. Go on short side. Kamita once again tries to go through. He has had a sensational second half of this game. Tosa Bati, Tosa says Manasa, and another one Kiwi, says Taioni there. Now Viliami Kikau hits it up to only about 10 metres out from the line. That will be fifth and final, 38 metres gained for the Fijians there. Corisel goes across. Now it's the cross kick attempt. It's going high. Great take from Mulitalo. He bounced after landing hard. And now it's going to be Papali'i who hits it up at the line. Second tackle now for New Zealand. Stick to your team. Stop jumping boats, says Anari there. And also the Kiwis can and should close it out, says Golden Guest. And also Kiwis haven't played their best. They're due for the big game. And go, boys, says Tamothi. Now he's lost it forward again for New Zealand. I'm watching the Odds versus France game and listening, says Gabriel there. Wow. New Zealand, another little handling error and a mistake. I think my neck is out of place. I don't know how to pop it back in. New Zealand, they'll be disappointed with that. Still 6 minutes left on the clock. Like they've said, the last full 80 minutes for Nicole Clockstead came in April. That's a long time ago. And Sataita has said, go boys there as well. Michael Maguire, the coach of New Zealand, he'll be nervous. How many minutes left for the Wallabies versus France? Aiden, at the moment, it is currently 29 minutes left for yourself or for those two sides. And currently still 22 points to 16. As I know, way we choke and not dropping the ball with 7 minutes to go. Also, Viti. And there's the Murphy well. So Street Sammy. And there, and also we have got there with all these drop balls, Fiji deserve to win. And go, Bati, go. One more collective effort, boys. Charging forward, it is Sivo, the first try scorer of the game. Can he be the last as well? They're on 0. So Fiji now going to continue to attack. Now actually second tackle. They have made their way up to here. Now off to the left-hand side. Big Gary Ford from the big number 11, Sandrugu. And also, come on, boys, show your true Fijian flair. And watching you live, because here in New Zealand, we have to pay to watch the World Cup. It sucks. Says Gabriel. It does indeed. Like, we've got Spark Sport, but I wish there was a free-to-air option here in New Zealand as well. Why don't Fiji go for a field goal? That would only get them the 1 point, which would put them up to 19 points rather than being in the lead. But now Fiji, fifth and final. Only a few meters out from the line. Going for the cross kick again. It's found the hands beautifully. Sivo tried the offload, or the little grubber, in fact, it was. Accidental offside. Scrum in favour of New Zealand, I believe, and definitely was good in the first. Got to break it, but no way, says Golden Guest. And also, we're going to Fiji going to lose this Katandro, or still a little bit of time left on the clock, but it's going to be an interesting one. And kudos to you for your dedication, mate. Give yourself some rest after this weekend, says Manasa. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Tomorrow, we have got the sevens throughout pretty much the whole day. Or, in fact, that's today, I should say. In about 6 hours' time, we have got the sevens taking place. We've got the Rugby League World Cup semi-final, or the quarterfinal, tomorrow night. We've got, also at the same time as that, there's another union game going on the channel that we will be covering. It just won't be me doing all of the commentary, but I will be joining for some of it. And then once that is finished, that game will finish at about 5:30 a.m. New Zealand time. I get 2 hours sleep, and then I am up for work on Monday. So it's going to be fun. No way Fiji chokes, says Cassandra there. And also, isn't 40-metre field goal 2 points of the World Cup too? Says Daivera. I feel like if that is the case, it's just a bit too risky to go for so far out. Fiji, though, this time, they were the side with the handling here. And New Zealand played bad, but it's still going to win, says Skipper Gronk. And also after watching this game, I see Australia in the finals, says Max and Broker. I'm on Fiji, says Cassandra again. New Zealand, though, with 3 minutes left on the clock. They're up to their third tackle. I look to just close out this game without too much more damage. But if Fiji get an exciting last set, maybe they could take themselves a lead in this match right at the final moments. I don't know whether or not my voice could handle another Fijian try, but if it happens, it happens. Fisher Harris now going across again. It's going to be the duck from, I believe, it was Nakora, and replace Peter and put Nakora in, says Nate. And as well now, it's going to be kicked by Jerome Hughes. What goes up must come down. It actually bounces, and it goes close to the touchline. It's a knock-on from Fiji. So it's going to be 6 more. Jerome Hughes now attacking the line, 10 metres out. And Fiji now may find themselves in a whole heap of trouble here to the short side. Joseph Manu drops his head 2 metres short. And also you get more views and subscribe if you show the game on the screen as well. Although we would get a copyright strike and then wouldn't be able to live stream for 3 months, sadly. So it would be one of those ones that it may work out for a few seconds, but then YouTube would take us down and we could get sued, unfortunately. And give it your all, Fiji. And there as well from Nate. Currently New Zealand. Hiku in the midfield. Total of 100 seconds left on the clock. I liked Nakore at centre in that game up against Tonga, says Diavero now. Joseph Manu. No, in fact, it's Jerome Hughes. Close to the line, gets back up, recycles. Now just short of the line, Tapina getting closer. New Zealand, though, they have just not quite been able to close this last try of the contest. Tapina, that is going to be 5th and final. Now Pearson round the side. Offload found. New Zealand, the ball on the outside. For the win, they go in, New Zealand. And that will be the last minute try in the game. Jordan Rapina scores it. And that will be the win for New Zealand. Just not enough time now for Fiji to be able to make up the deficit. Unless, of course, New Zealand missed this kick. Then there's still a chance of a draw. And also we don't want Amish to get sued. And this is Slay, and also Emmanuel said game, and GG says Baba, and the Kiwis says Cooper, and go Fiji says Dione. And yeah, as well, and I had to give my 80 to the Mrs. Sammy. She likes Fortnite. Lucky for your commentary, though, says Golden Guest, and also Ireland won against South Africa in the internationals. Rugby match indeed, though, Amish says Patrick, they did by the narrow margin, but they were just able to get the job done in the end. Now, New Zealand, they have now been able to also get the job done at the end. Fiji still drinking milk. Yes, New Zealand, you are the new 2022 new champ, says Walter. And also Mate Ma'a Kiwis, says Mako Vonapola, but the Kiwis go in for that last minute try. I believe there won't be enough time for a reset here either. And hard luck, Fiji, says, but yeah, they put in such a great performance in this contest, fighting hard till the last moment, but in the end, the New Zealanders still able to get themselves the victory. Another close game, first the Black Ferns and now the Kiwis. At least I was relaxed watching the All Blacks game, says Max. And you're going to do the second half of the Wallabies game. They have only got another about 20 minutes left of their game, so we won't end up doing that last little moment of their contest. But now the last kick on the board is going to be Jordan Rapana trying to go for this kick. Also, come on, bunker. Kiao did not strip the ball. Manu lost it cold. Another one of those bloody rubbish decisions. Poor bunkering, says Larson. And also we've got there Nate. Just like the Black Ferns game. And thanks to both teams. Well done, says Girls. Oh, sorry. That was not Girls Online. That was actually, and then Taita. He did say, and despite my cheer, you didn't take work it out. Out you go, says Anari. And also we win, says SZN. And there as well. But New Zealand narrowly winning this matchup up against Fiji. It was a fight and a half out there. And Fiji stand F up. You watch Ryan's Fiji boys hold off on the Scots, mate. The only team to adapt with the best in the Kiwis, says Ayana there. And also Few says Johnny and Marina. Thanks for the commentary, says no worries at all, mate. So we will be doing more of the commentary later on today. We have got the sevens that we will be covering on the channel. Also alongside that, we have got, will also be the matches taking place for the Rugby League World Cup, the other quarterfinal. And it's going to be the match taking place between, did I say New Zealand by 6 as well as my score prediction, by the way? But it will be the match between Samoa and Tonga. Will you sleep or do post-match review of this or any more matches, says Coding? So the plan is going to be now probably have something to eat after this match is finished, which it is now pretty much done, and then also end up setting up the rest of the live streams for later on in the day. So that's all smooth and hopefully will go relatively well for us for the quarterfinals. I believe those are the next games that we have got, which are going to be the men's quarterfinals taking place at around that 4 a.m. mark. So that is going to be 4 p.m. New Zealand time, I should say, sorry, rather than 4 a.m. And thanks, Kiwi lads. It's a nice close game, says Dave Al and Bullet, my brothers. Good game. And Fiji stand tall. You hold them Kiwis to the end. And also, thank you for the guitar welcoming, says Nate. No worries at all, mate. And good work, Hamish Super, says it's Rio. And there as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in to this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We will be back with some more rugby league tomorrow. Also, some rugby union on the channel and the rugby sevens also. But thank you all very much for tuning in. And I will see you all for the next one.